The stadium lights flickered on like distant stars igniting, but all I could hear was the echo of Ethan's voice from 3 days ago, sharp as a blade. If you can't even look at me, Jake, then we're done. Friends, everything. My cleats dug into the turf as I sprinted toward the huddle, heart pounding not from the play call but from the ghost of his hand brushing mine in the locker room last week. A touch I'd pretended didn't burn. And then, in that frozen moment before the snap, our eyes locked across the line. His filled with a storm I couldn't name, mine cracking open to the truth I'd buried deeper than any playbook. I guess it started like most disasters in a place like Willow Creek, Ohio. Small-town heartland where Friday nights under the floodlights were religion, and secrets were the original sin. I'm Jake Harlan, 18, senior quarterback for the Willow Creek Wolverines, the kind of kid who could thread a needle with a football from 50 yards but couldn't thread words through the knot in my throat when it came to feelings. Ethan was my shadow, my anchor, best friend since we were 6, building forts out of hay bales on his family's farm just outside town. He was the wide receiver who ran routes like poetry, all lean muscle and quiet fire, with eyes the color of storm clouds over cornfields. We were inseparable. Road trips to Cleveland for Browns games, late-night drives blasting Springsteen, sharing dreams of escaping this, on the map for something bigger, like playing ball at Ohio State or just living without the weight of whispers. But 3 days ago, everything splintered. It was after practice, the air thick with that late September humidity that clings like regret. We'd been horsing around in the showers, nothing weird, just the usual roughhousing to shake off a brutal scrimmage. I slung a towel at him, laughing as it snapped against his thigh, and he grabbed my wrist to yank me closer, our faces inches apart, water dripping from his hair onto my shoulder. For a heartbeat, the world narrowed. His breath warm against my cheek, that unspoken pull I'd felt building for months, like gravity but scarier. Then Coach barked from the doorway, and I jerked back, muttering something stupid about needing to head out. Ethan's face fell, not in anger, but in that quiet devastation that hits harder than any hit on the field. That night he texted, "We need to talk. For real." I stared at my phone in the dim glow of my bedroom, posters of Tom Brady and LeBron peeling at the edges. The weight of my dad's old Letterman jacket draped over the chair like a ghost. Dad had been the town hero, state champ in '89, before the mill closed and he drank himself into an early grave. "Be a man, Jake." He'd slur on good days, meaning tough, straight, unbreakable. I typed back, "Not now, man. Tired." I was terrified. What if talk meant admitting the dreams I'd had? Waking up tangled in sheets, his name on my lips. What if it shattered us? The next morning at school, he cornered me by my locker, backpack slung low, flannel shirt untucked over his jeans like he hadn't slept. "Jake, come on. You've been dodging me since summer. That thing at the lake house. Drop it, Ethan," I hissed, glancing down the hall where Tyler Reeves and his crew lounged, all crew cuts and sideways smirks. Tyler was the defensive captain, the golden boy everyone whispered about dating the cheer captain, but I'd seen him eyeing Ethan in the weight room once, a look that lingered too long. "Not here." His jaw tightened, that familiar spark in his eyes dimming. "Fine, but if you keep pretending, you're choosing them over me, over us." He walked away, shoulders squared but steps heavy, and I slammed my locker shut, the clang echoing like a finality I couldn't stomach. By lunch, the silence was a chasm. He sat with the art kids in the corner of the cafeteria, sketching in his notebook while they chattered about some indie band tour. I picked at my fries alone at our usual table, the one by the window overlooking the parking lot where we'd carved our initials into the bleachers freshman year. J&E 22, Wolverines forever. My phone buzzed, a group chat blowing up about the big game Friday against Riverton High, our rivals since the Civil War or whatever. State playoffs on the line. But Ethan's name didn't light up my screen, and that hurt worse than any blindside sack. Day 2 of radio silence was torture. Practice was a blur. I overthrew passes, barked at the line like they were the enemy. Coach pulled me aside after, his whistle dangling like a noose. "Harlan, you got that 1,000-yard stare. Girl trouble? Fix it before Friday, or you're riding pine." I nodded, throat dry, and scanned the field for Ethan. He was stretching alone by the goalpost, earbuds in, pretending the world didn't exist. I almost went over, but Tyler jogged up, clapping him on the back too hard, too familiar. Looking sharp, Hayes. Save some for the game, yeah. Ethan's laugh was forced, and something twisted in my gut, hot and ugly. That night, I drove out to the quarry, the one where we'd skip rocks as kids, tires crunching gravel under a harvest moon. The water was black glass, reflecting stars like accusations. I hurled a stone, watching ripples spread, and whispered to the empty air. What if it's you, Ethan? What if it's always been? But pride is a hell of a drug, and fear's its dealer. I went home, scrolled his Insta. Old pics of us at Cedar Point, arms slung around each other, grins wide as the Midway. The latest was a solo shot from the farm, him silhouetted against the barn at sunset. Caption: chasing shadows. My chest ached. I didn't text back. Day 3 dawned gray, rain pattering my window like impatient fingers. School was a minefield. He was everywhere and nowhere, passing in the hall without a glance, his cologne lingering like a taunt. In English, we dissected The Great Gatsby, Mr. Ellis droning about illusions and lost summers, and I swear Ethan shot me one look, green eyes piercing, before burying his head in his notes. Gatsby and his green light, chasing what you can't have, sounded familiar. By afternoon, rumors swirled like locker room smoke. Tyler cornered me in the John, zipping up with a grin that didn't reach his eyes. Heard Hayes is switching teams. Thinks Rivorton's got better offers. My blood ran cold. Switching teams? As in transferring. Or something else? Tyler leaned in, breath sour with energy drink. You two been tight. What's his deal, Harlan? Spill. Back off. Reeves? I growled, shoving past. But doubt festered. What if Ethan was done waiting? What if 3 days of my cowardice had pushed him into someone else's arms? Tyler's. Even? The thought clawed at me all through weights, reps blurring into rage until my hands bled on the bar. That evening, the team bus idled outside the gym for an away scout at a neutral field, but I bailed, claiming a migraine. Truth was, I needed air, needed to fix this before it broke irreparably. I pedaled my bike to his farm, mud splashing my calves, the rain turning to mist as thunder grumbled in the distance. The Hayes place was a patchwork of fields and silos, porch light glowing like a beacon. His truck was there, but the house dark, except for the barn, where a sliver of yellow spilled from the loft door. I climbed the ladder, heart hammering louder than the storm brewing. He was there, cross-legged on a hay bale, guitar in lap, the old acoustic his mom left him before she split for California when we were 12. His fingers picked out a melancholy riff, something by Bon Iver, voice low and rough. I am my mother's only one. It's enough. He didn't look up as I stepped into the light, but his strumming faltered. Ethan. The word hung, heavy. He set the guitar aside, slowly, like handling glass. 3 days, Jake. You ghosted me for 3 goddamn days. I know. Words failed, so I sat beside him, close enough to feel the heat radiating off his skin, smell the earth and soap on him. I'm scared, okay? Of this, of us, of what it means in a town that still whispers about Mr. Langley's phase back in the 90s. His laugh was bitter, edged with pain. Scared? Or ashamed? He turned then, face inches from mine, freckles stark under the bare bulb. Rain drummed the tin roof, a private symphony. That night at the lake house when we stayed up talking till dawn, you said we were soulmates. Best friends forever. But when I leaned in, when I pulled away because I wanted it too. I blurted, the confession bursting like a dam. God, Ethan, I've wanted it since forever. But Dad's voice in my head, the team's eyes, Tyler's bullshit. It's like quicksand. He searched my face, vulnerability cracking his armor. Tyler's nothing. He's fishing, Jake. But me? I'm drowning without you. His hand found mine, tentative, calluses rough from ropes and strings. Our fingers laced, and electricity hummed, the kind that rewires your soul. We talked then, really talked, pouring out the fears we'd bottled. His coming out to his dad last year, only to be met with a gruff, "You're my boy, that's what matters." But the isolation that followed, my nights staring at the ceiling, mapping constellations of what-ifs, the rain softened to a whisper, and somewhere in the loft's shadows, we leaned foreheads together, breaths sinking like a perfect play. But Willow Creek doesn't let go easy. As we drove back in his truck, wipers swiping secrets away, my phone lit up. "Coach, emergency team meeting. Rivorton's scouting us hard. Be there." The gym was a pressure cooker when we arrived, fluorescent buzz amplifying the tension. Guys milled, taping wrists, but the air crackled. Tyler shooting daggers our way, whispers about Ethan's mood and my flake out. Coach paced the whiteboard, marker squeaking plays, the wing T-trap we drilled to shreds, our Hail Mary against Rivorton's blitz-happy D. Friday's do or die, boys. State semis. Harlan, you're slinging it like a drunk. Fix it. Hayes. Run those cuts crisp or we're cooked. Ethan squeezed my knee under the bench, hidden, a promise. But as we filed out, Tyler blocked the door, arms crossed. "Cozy ride back. Lovebirds?" The word slithered out, laced with venom. Snickers rippled. My fists clenched, fight or flight, the old Harlan reflex. Ethan stepped forward, voice steady as steel. "Back it up, Tyler. Jealousy's ugly on you." The gym went pin drop. Tyler's face twisted, red creeping up his neck. "Jealous? Of what? Your little farm boy crush. Town's gonna eat you alive, Hayes." He shoved Ethan's shoulder, hard enough to stagger him. I exploded, tackling Tyler into the lockers with a crash that echoed like thunder. Fists flew, his hooking my jaw, mine cracking his lip, until refs pulled us apart, blood hot on my tongue. Coach roared, "Enough! Both of you, suspended. Games tomorrow, you're out." The drive home was funeral silent, bruise blooming on my cheek like a brand. Ethan gripped the wheel white-knuckled. He knew, Jake. Someone talked. Betrayal sank in, cold and certain. Who? The team was family, or so I thought. Dad's words echoed. Loyalty's the only currency that matters. But loyalty cuts both ways. Thursday blurred into a haze of fallout. School buzzed like a hive kicked. Texts flooding my phone. Half sympathy. Half shade. "Dude, you decked Tyler? Over Hayes?" I deleted them all, holing up in the library during lunch, nose in a dog-eared copy of Friday Night Lights like it held answers. Ethan texted once. "Meet at the field after? Need to run routes." Simple, but it was oxygen. The empty stadium was our sanctuary, bleachers echoing with ghosts of cheers. Dusk painted the sky bruise purple, goalposts stark skeletons. He tossed me the ball, leather worn soft from our hands. No coaches, no crowd. Just us. We ran plays in the fading light, me dropping back, him streaking downfield, cuts sharp as regret. The ball spiraled true, nestling in his gloves like fate. After a dozen, we collapsed on the 50, grass cool under us, breaths ragged. "Remember Pee-wee?" he said, propping on an elbow. "You threw that pick, cried like a baby. I told you we'd win it back together." I chuckled, wincing at the split lip. "Yeah, and you did, 60-yard scamper. Coach called you Lightning Hayes." Our laughter faded, replaced by the cricket's chorus. His hand brushed mine again, deliberate this time, thumb tracing my knuckles. "Jake, last night in the barn. That wasn't just talk, was it?" "No." I rolled to face him, the world tilting. His eyes held galaxies, fear, fire, forgiveness. It was everything I've been too chicken shit to say. I closed the gap, lips meeting his tentative as a first down, then deepening like overtime. Soft, urgent, tasting of salt and stolen time. His fingers threaded my hair, pulling me closer, and for those minutes under the stars, Willow Creek vanished. But reality's a blindside. Headlights pierced the dark. Tyler's truck, engine growling to a halt at the fence. He hopped the chain link, cronies in tow. Brock the lineman, smirking. Lena from cheer, phone out, filming. Well, ain't this sweet? Tyler drawled, voice oily. Quarterback and his fairy tale. Ethan stiffened, springing up, but I grabbed his arm. Don't. They're baiting. Tyler advanced, fists balled. Benching us both? Over what? Protecting your boyfriend. The word weaponized, hurled like a grenade. Brock laughed, but it was nervous, eyes darting. Lena's video rolled, red light winking accusation. Shut your mouth, Reeves? Ethan snarled, stepping forward. You outed us? For what? Your fragile ego. Tyler's grin faltered, then hardened. Outed? Nah, just calling what the whole team's seen. Harlan's been off since summer, mooning over you like a damn rom-com. And you switching teams? Please. We all know what that means. He spat the slur, low and vicious, the one that curls like smoke in locker rooms. Rage ignited. I lunged, but Ethan blocked me, voice low thunder. You're done, Tyler. Tell coach what you did. Spying, stirring shit, or I will. And that video? It'll show more than you think. Lena faltered, pocketing her phone. Brock shifted, uneasy. Ty, maybe we... Shut up. Tyler wheeled on him, then back to us, chest heaving. You think this changes Friday? Without us, Wolverines are toast. Rivorton's gonna bury you. He stormed off, tires spinning gravel as they peeled away. We stood there, shaken, the kiss's warmth leaching into chill. He's right about one thing, I muttered. Game's screwed. Ethan cupped my face. Fierce. Then we fight smarter. Not with fists, with heart. His kiss then was steel-wrapped tenderness, sealing a pact. Friday dawned crisp, autumn gold carpeting the fields. The school was electric, banners strung, pep rally thumping with bass that rattled lockers. But under it, fracture lines spiderwebbed, teammates avoiding eyes, coaches scowl in the halls. Suspended meant no uniform, no sideline, just spectator status, if they let us near. At home, Mom hovered, her nurse's scrubs crisp, worry etching lines deeper. She'd raised me solo since Dad, piecing shifts at the clinic with PDA potlucks. Jake, honey, what's this about a fight? And Ethan, y'all okay? Her hand on my shoulder was balm, but I deflected. Just team drama, Ma. We'll sort it. She fixed me with that mom stare, soft but seeing. Sort it with truth, not secrets. Your father's pride buried him. Don't let yours do the same. Her hug lingered, vanilla and resolve. The stadium filled by kickoff. A sea of maroon and gold waving foam fingers. Brass band blaring Sweet Caroline. Rivorton rolled in cocky, their busts disgorging giants in silver helmets. Coach barking like a drill sergeant. Our guys looked shell-shocked. Line jittery. Secondary glancing at the bench where Tyler preened in street clothes. Ice pack on his eye like a badge. We slipped in late, hoodies up, finding seats high in the alumni section. Ethan's knee pressed mine, a lifeline. Watch, learn. They're playing scared. First quarter was carnage. Rivorton struck fast, a 60-yard bomb putting them up 7-0. Our D folded like cheap lawn chairs, coach yanking starters mid-drive. Tyler heckled from the sidelines. Told ya, bunch of quitters. The crowd's cheers soured to murmurs. Halftime loomed, score 14-3, when chaos erupted. A Rivorton safety laid a helmet-to-helmet on our freshman tailback, carting him off on a stretcher. Flags flew, but the ref swallowed the whistle, blatant miss. Boos rained, and in the stands, fists pumped fury. Ethan leaned in, breath hot. That's it. We can't sit. His eyes blazed, that receiver's instinct kicking in. Spot the seam, exploit the gap. Before I could protest, he was weaving down the stairs, me trailing. We hit the field level just as teams trotted for the break, coach spotting us like hawks on mice. Harlan, Hayes, the hell you doing here? Saving your ass, coach? Ethan shot back, voice carrying over the din. Gasps rippled, bold as brass. Tyler sneered from the bench, but the team paused, ears perking. I stepped up, playbook fire in my veins. They're keying our run, blitzing weak side. Switch to spread, motion haze me in as decoy. Drum, Let Mills hit the flats. Coach's mustache twitched, calculating. Rivorton's band strutted, taunting with trombones. The kid on the stretcher, little Sammy Ruiz, braces glinting through pain. Thumbs up from the tunnel. Damn it, Coach growled. 30 seconds. Gear up. The locker room was a whirlwind. Pads snapping, curses flying. Tyler blocked my path, lip curled. This your redemption arc, Harlan? Gonna cry to your boyfriend when we lose. I met his stare, calm as a snap count. Betrayal's a choice, Tyler. You chose wrong. He blinked, deflated, as Brock pulled him back. Let it go, man. Halftime buzzer wailed. We burst onto the turf, crowd erupting, word spread like wildfire. The suspended stars were suiting up. Unofficial, unsanctioned, pure gut. Ethan and I lined up wide, eyes locking pre-snap. Trust electric. The drive ignited. I dropped back, Rivorton's edge rusher coiling. Fake handoff, bootleg right. Ethan streaked slant, safety biting hard. Touchdown. Zip. 21-14. Pandemonium. High fives slapped, but ours lingered, palms pressing promises. Quarter 3 was trench warfare. Fumbles, picks, clocks burning. Rivorton tied it at 21 on a keeper, their QB moonwalking like he owned the joint. Our D stiffened, sacking twice, but fatigue clawed, line gassed, secondary leaking. Fourth quarter, 2 o'clock left, down 28-24. Ball on our 18. Coach signaled, all in. Go deep, boys. Make 'em pay. Huddle broke, Ethan clapping my shoulder pads. You and me, Jake. Like always. Sweat stung my eyes, but his grin, fierce, free, steadied me. Snap. Blitz. I rolled left, pocket collapsing like a bad bluff. Lineman whiffed, Rivorton closing. Ethan ghosted coverage, double move silky, streaking sideline. I planted, unleashed, a frozen rope, 60 yards on a dime. He high-pointed it over the DB, diving into endzone paint. Touchdown. 31-28. Overtime loomed, but Rivorton answered. Field goal. 31-31. Sudden death rules, first score wins. Their possession, 3 and out, punter shanking to our 45. Our turn. The stadium held breath, a living thing. I called it in the dirt. Jet sweep right, play action boot. Ethan, post corner, burn him. Cadence barked. Snap. Fake to the tail, I spun, eyes scanning. Secondary dropped deep, but their seam popped. Ethan exploded, jersey a blur. Tyler, inexplicably on the sideline yelling encouragement now. Cupped hands. Hit him! The throw hung eternal, arc perfect. He leaped, gloves high, interception. Rivorton's corner, all-state kid. Undercut it, pick 6 incoming. No. Ethan adjusted mid-air, twisting like a cat, body checking the ball loose. Fumble tumbled, bouncing wild. Our strong safety scooped, rumbling 40 yards untouched. Ball game. Final whistle screamed. 37-31. Wolverines. Hugs engulfed, tears mixing with Gatorade showers. But in the crush, Ethan and I found each other. Helmets off, foreheads touching, world fading to just us. Coach clapped our backs, gruff. Unofficial heroes. Don't make me regret it. Tyler slunk away, head down, betrayal's bill coming due, whispers of his confession to the principal already brewing. Under the stands, away from lights, we shed gear, breaths sinking. We did it, he murmured, lips brushing mine. Victory sweeter than any trophy. But Willow Creek's spotlight burns hot. As confetti rained, a shadow loomed. Dad's old rival, Mr. Hargrove, town councilman, sidling up with a reporter's gleam. Fine game, boys, but that display? Town's talking. The hook twisted deeper. The after-party was legend in the making. Rizzo's barn, strung with Edison bulbs and hay bales for seats. Kegs hidden in troughs. Bass thumping from truck speakers. Willow Creek's elite crammed in. Cheer squad flipping hair. Band geeks nursing solos. Farmers' kids two-stepping awkward. Victory tasted like cheap beer and bonfire smoke. But under it simmered the undercurrent. eyes on us, whispers threading like barbed wire. Ethan and I stuck to the edges, red cups in hand, his pinky hooking mine when no one looked. "Feels like a dream," he said, voice low over the roar of laughter. A group encircled the fire pit, roasting marshmallows and reliving the fumble. Hayes with the strip, Harlan's arm like a cannon. Cheers erupted, but Tyler's absence was a hole. Rumor had it he'd confessed to coach about the spying. The shove, earning a week suspension and a mandatory team building with the counselor. I scanned the crowd, spotting Lena by the cooler, phone tucked away, her glance apologetic. Maybe redemption started small. "Hey," Ethan nudged, nodding to the dance floor where Brock swayed with his girl, beckoning us. One song. My stomach flipped, public exposed. But his eyes, alight with that post-game glow, pulled like tide. What the hell? We waded in, bodies jostling, and when the track shifted to some upbeat country remix, Luke Bryan crooning about crashing waves, he spun me into a loose two-step, hands on hips light as promise. Laughter bubbled, genuine, and for a verse we were just two guys moving to the beat, world none the wiser. Until Hargrove's voice cut through, oily as ever. He lumbered up, belly straining his polo, flask glinting. "Harlan, the prodigal quarterback returns." His grip crushed my hand, eyes flicking to Ethan with that councilman calculation, votes, values, vice. "Heard about your heroics. Unofficial, eh? Reminds me of your old man. Bending rules for glory." Dad's shadow loomed eternal. Hargrove's barbs the salt in wounds. "Just playing ball, sir. Like always." He chuckled, low. "Ball's fine, but that sideline. Tenderness? Town papers sniffing. Wolverine romance. Folks get touchy about that." He winked, but it was warning, flask tipping back. Ethan stiffened beside me, but I squeezed his hand hidden in my pocket. "Appreciate the concern. Night's young, enjoy it." We slipped away, heat rising in my chest. Not fear, but fight. Later, by the creek behind the barn, fireflies winking like conspirators, we sat on a log, feet dangling in the cool rush. "Hargrove's a dinosaur," Ethan muttered, skipping a pebble. "But he's got pull council votes on the new field lights next month. Could tank the team's budget." I groaned, head on his shoulder. One win, and it's already poisoned. His arm draped mine, thumb circling soothing. Then we poisoned back, come out swinging our way. The idea sparked, reckless. Like, tell the team? Mom? Hell, the Gazette. His smile was sunrise. Start small. Mom first. She's tougher than Hargrove's flask. We kissed there, slow and deep, water murmuring approval. Fireflies are only witnesses. Vulnerability wrapped in strength. Romance, raw and real. Saturday brought hangover haze and hard truths. Mom called me down for breakfast, pancakes steaming, but her eyes held questions. Paper's front page, Jake. She slid the local rag across. Wolverine's clawback epic win. Suspended stars steel show. Buried in Para 3. Amid the chaos, questions swirl about team dynamics, including a heated altercation and rumors of deeper divides. No names, but the subtext screamed. "Ma, it's..." She held up a hand, soft. "Ethan coming over? Waffles for two." Her smile crinkled corners. Acceptance, unspoken but ironclad. When he arrived, flannel crisp, she pulled him into a hug that swallowed doubts. "Proud of you boys. Now eat." Over syrup we spilled it, halting at first, then torrent. The pull since sophomore year, the lake house almost, the 3 days of silence that nearly broke us. Mom listened, tears glossing. Then, "Love's not a game, but it scores big when you play true." She squeezed our hands across the table, a bridge built. Afternoon blurred to the field house, where Coach waited, whistle idle. "Sit." His office smelled of Bengay and old coffee, walls papered with championship banners. Reeves cracked, admitted the push, the video threat. Kid's a hothead, but family's tight with Hargrove. Pressure's on. Ethan leaned forward. "We want in, Coach. Fully. No more hiding." His bushy brows arched. "In?" As what? Mascots. Gruff but probing. I swallowed. As us. Teammates. More. The words hung, exposed. Silence stretched, then he nodded, slow. Team's family. Messy but solid. You too? Backbone of it. But town's fickle. Hargrove's petitioning to review the program if distractions persist. He tapped the desk. Prove him wrong. On field, off. Captains, both of ya. We left lighter, fist bumping in the lot. But dusk brought the storm. Tyler's text, anonymous but unmistakable. Enjoy the spotlight, lovers. Video drops Monday unless you quit the team. Betrayal's sequel, deeper cut. Ethan's face paled. He's bluffing. Or desperate. We drove to his farm, rain lashing like judgment. In the loft, guitar forgotten, we paced. Fight or fold? Fight, he said, pulling me close. With this. His kiss was defiance. Bodies aligning not in heat but harmony. Hands exploring shoulders, backs, mapping trust. We talked till midnight. Plans, escapes, dreams of Columbus apartments and pro tryouts. Human, hopeful. Sunday church was a gauntlet. Pews packed, sermon on forgiveness droning. Hargrove nodded from the front row, smug. Post-service coffee hour turned inquisition. Mrs. Ellis cooing, such a game, then whispering. But that hug, boys will be boys. Ethan squeezed my elbow, whispering, smile through teeth. Home we plotted, confront Tyler, loop and coach, go public on our terms. But evening shattered it. A knock at Ethan's door. His dad, grizzled farmer in overalls, hat in hand. Son, heard the talk. Need to discuss. Mr. Hayes was salt of earth. Calloused hands from dawn to dusk, Bible on the nightstand, but heart wide as his acres. He sat us at the kitchen table, coffee black as resolve. Love's love. God don't quibble labels. But pain etched his face. Hargrove's poison, stirring folks, gainst the mill rezoning. Could cost jobs, including mine. Guilt twisted. We didn't. He waved it off. You fight your battles. I'll fight mine. His clap on our shoulders was benediction. Proud boys. Now go win the next one. Monday loomed like execution. School hallways hummed malice. Flyers tacked. Wolverines. Win or sin. Hargrove's touch. Lockers slammed judgment. But in homeroom, Brock slid a note. Team meeting after. Tyler's out. We're in. Solidarity, tentative. Lunch, we faced him in the parking lot. Tyler, duffel slung, eyes hollow. Delete it. Ethan demanded, voice steel. He scoffed, but wavered. Dad says quit or it airs. Hargrove's leaning. I stepped up. Then own it. Bully's endgame is alone. Something shifted, his shoulders slumped. Fine. Deleted. Phone smashed under boot, shards like chains broken. Relief flooded, but the real war brewed. Gazette called, interview request. Heroes or headlines? We took it, Ethan's idea. Tuesday presser in the gym, mics clustered like vultures. Coach flanked us, stone-faced. Questions on the game. Hands shot. Wins, plays. Then the pivot. Rumors of a relationship between Harlan and Hayes. Impact on team? Ethan's turn. He stood, hand finding mine deliberate. Not rumors. Fact. Jake and I are together. Teammates, friends, more. And it's made us stronger. Gasps, flashes. My heart thundered, but his grip anchored. Willow Creek taught us heart. Time to live it. The room exploded. Some cheers, some murmurs. Hargrove in the back. Face thunder. But Brock hooped from the bleachers. Team echoing. Victory, off-field. Aftermath cascaded. Petitions countering Hargrove's. Mom's clinic buzzing support. Even Dad's old buddies at the VFW toasting new era. But intimacy bloomed quiet. Stolen afternoons in the quarry, skipping stones and stories. Drives with windows down, his hand on my thigh, Springsteen's serenading. Yet climax brewed in semis. State quarterfinals against Toledo Central. A juggernaut with NFL scouts in stands. Pressure mounted, Hargrove's cronies picketing sidelines. Protect our kids signs waving. Team fractured. Some parents pulling sons, whispers of transfers. Practice Thursday. Drills devolve to shouts. A receiver shoving Ethan post-drop. Can't focus with your drama. Fists clenched, but I mediated, voice breaking. This drama? It's us. All of us. Fighting for more than yards. Coach called huddle. Dig deep or dig graves. But eyes darted, doubt festering. Night before game, Ethan and I snuck to the field, under moon like a silver judge. We walked the hash marks, ghosts of plays past. If we lose tomorrow, he said, voice small. Blame me? Never. I pulled him down to the grass, stars canopy. Win or lose, you're my forever play. Our bodies entwined, clothes barriers to warmth. Kisses trailing collarbones, breaths mingling in whispers of forever. Emotional, not erotic, souls bared, vulnerabilities shared. I love you, Jake. Words I'd rehearsed in mirrors. Love you too. Echoed true. Dawn broke on game day, frost-kissed. Stadium swelled. Scouts in polos, rivals jeering, Hargrove's pickets chanting. But our bleachers thrummed counter. Rainbow pins winking, mom's sign heart over helmets. Kickoff cracked like destiny. First half was apocalypse. Toledo's option attack shredded us, QB scrambling like a fox in henhouse, racking 200 yards easy. Score 21-7 at intermission. Our lone TD, a fluke screen I flipped to the fullback. Locker room reeked defeat. Heads bowed. Tape peeling like skin. Coach paced, veins bulging. They own the edges. Stack the box, force pass. But morale cratered. A lineman muttered. Too much noise off field. Eyes flicking our way. Guilt gnawed. Our truth. Their burden? Ethan caught my arm in the tunnel. Our call. We huddled the offense post-pep. Voices overlapping plans. Blitz pickets. Rub routes to free the slot. For Willow, I said. Nods rippled Brock's firm. The freshman's wide-eyed. Second half ignited. Kick returned to the 40 momentum spark. I barked cadence, line surging. Play action. Fake dive. Drop deep. Toledo bit, safeties crashing run. Ethan ghosted vertical. Double team shedding like silk. Ball lasered 50 yards, toe-tapping endzone. 21-14. Crowd detonated, pickets faltering. Their answer. Field goal. 24-14. Clock ticking. 8 o'clock left. We chain drives. Slant to the tight end. Draw for 10. Third down conversion on a naked boot where I evaded 2. Flipping to Ethan crossing flats. He rumbled 30. Stiff-arming a corner like yesterday's news. Punch and run. 24-21. Overtime teased, but Toledo milked clock, punting from midfield. Our possession. No huddle. Hurry up. I scanned pre-snap. Blitz coming, corners soft. Audible. Trips right, go. Snap. Pressure immediate, DE coiling. I hitched, spied seam. Ethan exploded underneath, yards after catch churning. First down, then some. Sideline erupted. Mom's sign waving wild. 2-minute warning. Ball on their 25. Crowd chant. Wolverines. Hargrove's face in the stands. Puce as a beat. Tyler. Reinstated sidelined. Cupped hands. Feed 'em. 3rd and 8. My call, fade to Ethan, back shoulder if they jam. Cadence. Snap. Jam they did, DB mugging, hands pawing. But Ethan Euro-stepped, release, stem crisp. I lofted rainbow arc, hanging perfect. He elevated, back to the throw, snagging over Mugger's reach. Touchdown. 27-24. Pandemonium. Scouts scribbled furious. Flashes blinding. Rivorton. Toledo. Semis secured. But as we mobbed, a picket breached fence. Hargrove's nephew. Sign pole swinging wild. Freaks. Clipped Ethan's helmet, staggering him. Rage black. I charged, but security swarmed, hauling him off. Ethan waved it off, dazed but defiant. Not worth it. Post-game, under floodlights dimming, we claimed turf, team circle, arms linked. Coach. State's ours. But so's this town. Fight for it. Cheers, tears. Hargrove slunk away, Petition crumbling under countersignatures. Week blurred. Practices fierce. Town thawing. Gazette op-ed. Ethan's words. Love doesn't fumble. Petitions flipped. Council vote swung. Lights funded. Hargrove sidelined. Mom hosted team dinner. Lasagna heaped. Stories flowing. Tyler apologized over pie. Mumbled. Was scared. Sorry. Forgiveness. Tentative bridge. Intimacy deepened. Mornings at the quarry. Coffee shared. Plans sketched. Ohio State Scouts circling. Dorm dreams. Evenings on his porch swing. Stars scripting futures. Kisses evolved. Playful to profound. Hands in hair. Laps tracing scars from tackles and time. You're my North Star, he'd murmur. Head on chest. Heartbeat lullaby. State semis dawn snowy. Flurries dusting Lambeau-like field in Columbus. Opponent. Cincinnati Kings urban powerhouse. Scouts tripled. Nerves jangled bus ride. Ethan's hand mine. Squeezing codes. Game was symphony savage. Traded scores. Defenses bending not breaking. Halftime tied 14-all. My ribs taped from a crack. Ethan's ankle swelling. One drive at a time, he grinned. Ice masking grit. Third. They struck lightning. A pick I forced returned 30. 21-14. Our answer, 80-yard march. Ethan's 40-yard post the dagger. Tie. Fourth. Fumble forced by Brock. Recovery at midfield. Clock 1:30. No timeouts. Hurry. Slant chains 10. Draws 8. Red zone. Second and goal. Rollout right. Ethan dragging coverage. A pump faked. Hit the backdoor screen. Brock rumbling in. 21-21. OT. Sudden death. Their turn 3 and out. Ours. Ball at 50. Snap. Blitz. I evaded left. Eyes locking Ethan's downfield sprint. Coverage tight, but he chopped feet. Stutter step freeing window. Throw wobbling from hit, but true. He dove, extending, ball breaking plane. Touchdown. State champs. Net burst. Confetti blizzard. Scouts mobbed. Offers whispered, scholarships, futures. But in the pile, Ethan's yell cut through. We did it. Banquet week. Tux's stiff, hotel ballroom gleaming. Awards piled. Me MVP, him all-state. Speeches. Coach teary. These boys taught heart. Our turn. Hands clasped podium. To friends who become family, I said. To love that scores eternal. Town transformed. Pride flags fluttering Main Street. Hargrove's defeat in election whispers. Tyler even joined pickup games, redemption arc budding. But humanism's quiet. One night, post-championship haze, Ethan confessed shadows. Nights doubting worth, town's weight. What if college changes us? I held him, porch creaking. Then we changed together. Love's not conquest. It's companionship, flaws and flights. Graduation loomed, caps tossed skyward. Speeches droned, but Ethan's valedictorian words pierced. Willow taught us roots run deep, but wings wait. Fly true. Diplomas gripped, we hugged families. Mom's tears, his dad's nod. Summer beckoned. OSU orientations, apartment hunts. Last farm night, bonfire crackling, guitars strumming. Ready? He asked, embers dancing eyes. With you? Always. Kiss sealed. Firelit promise. Yet twist lingered. Letter from dad's old coach. Unearthed attic. Son, be brave. Love wins. Tears hot. Closure soft. As trucks loaded for Columbus, Willow shrinking rear view, I glanced Ethan driving shotgun. 3 days changed everything. He grinned, hand mine. Best fumble ever. Columbus hit like a dream deferred. Buckeye Scarlet swallowing us. Dorms buzzing freshman hordes. OSU's sprawl dwarfed Willow. Horseshoe Stadium yawning vast. Libraries labyrinths. Coffee shops spilling indie kids. Ethan and I bunked adjacent. His roommate a poli-sci nerd from Akron. Mine a lacrosse bro oblivious to vibes. Mornings. Shared showers, platonic rushes, towels snapped. Afternoons classes clashing, me kinesiology, him graphic design. Football camp was crucible. Two-a-days brutal, Sun scorching astroturf. Coaches barking cadences like war cries. Walk-ons weeded, but scouts' nods lingered. Redshirt year probable, but promises hummed. Ethan shone. Routes poetry, hands magnets. Me arm live, but reeds sharpening. Evenings we'd collapse his bunk. Ice packs shared, recapping film. That dig route? Flawless. I'd murmur. Fingers tracing his quad. Affection casual, deepening. But college cracks appeared. Parties thumping frat row, temptations parading. One mixer, Sigma Chi bash. Bass pounding, red cups flowing. Ethan's laugh rang over pong table, but a poli-sci girl, lithe sorority sleek, leaned close, whispering invites. Jealousy flickered, irrational, trust bedrock, but insecurities weed. Later, alley shadows, I confessed, saw her eyeing you, felt small. He cupped my jaw, thumb gentle. Eyes wander, heart doesn't. Kiss dispelled, slow under street lamp glow. Reaffirmation, not reclamation. Town ties tugged. Mom's calls weekly, recipes texted. Ethan's dad shipping care boxes. Jerky, notes scrawled proud. But distance amplified, Hargrove's successor councilman, progressive bent, even emailed. Field named in your honor? Healing incremental. Fall semester crescendoed. Midterms crunch. Buckeye opener electric. Scarlet wave. 52-10 route. We suited scout team. Feeding first string. Hearts pounding sidelines. Post-win, tailgate sprawled, grills smoking. Alums toasting. Ethan's sketchpad captured it. Us in jerseys, stadium blaze titled New Lights. But conflict crested sophomore spring. Pro Scout dinner, Urban Meyer era ghosts. Agent pitched. Harlan, arms NFL caliber, draft stock rising. Hayes, slot guy, special teams lock. Excitement spiked, but pressure coiled. Ethan's ankle tweak nagging. My shoulder barking from overthrows. One night, post-scrimmage loss, frustration boiled. Dorm common, beers cracked, underage hush. We argued rare. Push through, I urged. Can't half-ass. His eyes flashed. Half? This ain't Willow. Scouts see weakness, we're done. Words escalated. Old fears surfacing. Abandonment echoes. 3 days scar. Door slammed. Silence deafening. I paced, regret gnawing. Not again. Dawn found me at his door, coffee piece offering. Sorry. Scared of losing you to this machine. He pulled me in, disheveled. Me too. But we're tandem, not trade. Makeup meander. Campus paths, autumn leaves crunching, hands swinging. Pro or not, you're my end zone. Humanity deepened. Volunteer gigs, Ethan designing posters for Campus Pride. Me coaching youth league in Hilltop. Kids wide-eyed. You the champ. Lessons imparted. Heart over hustle. Climax brood draft eve, junior year, shadows lengthening. Combine invites golden, but Ethan's ankle MRI loomed. Stress fracture, redshirt probable. News hit locker room, supportive slaps masking pity. He withdrew, sketches darkening, silhouettes fractured. What if I'm sidelined forever? Your shadow. Bar at Mirror Lake, snow dusting benches. I knelt not proposal but plea. Shadow? You're the sun, Ethan. Pro without you? Hollow. Tears froze cheeks, but his broke free. Missed this, us raw. Reunion raw. Bodies curling dorm, whispers weaving futures. Heal. I'll wait. Love's endurance, not erasure. Draft night. Green room glitz, suit stiff, families beaming. My name, third round, Browns, homecoming irony. Cheers erupted. Mom hugging fierce, Ethan's grin brightest. His UDFA trail undrafted, free agent gamble. Heart sank, but he shrugged post-show, bar lights hazy. Means I choose maybe coaching, design, or grind camps. Betrayal's ghost. Old agent bailed. Injury risk. But new ally emerged, OSU trainer vouching workouts. Summer, relentless rehab, me shuttling pads, spotting lifts. Willow visits. Farm therapy, dad grilling steaks, toasting resilience. Fall camp. Ethan walked on again, special teams ace. First game. Punt return. 50 yards electric. Touchdown spark. Crowd chanted Hayes. Scouts rescanned. Senior year peaked. Heisman buzz mine, but Ethan's quiet MVP team glue. Rivalry. Michigan. Snow Bowl 2. Blizzard raging. We clawed 24-20. Post-game. Tunnel huddle. For the unheard, he yelled. Hugs lingered, brotherhood blooming. Graduation. Scarlet gowns. Family's front row. My speech. Fields taught throws. But love? That's the real Hail Mary. Ethan beside. Ring subtle, future whispered. Post-college. Brown's camp. Me backup sling. Ethan grad assistant OSU. Sketches evolving murals. Stadium walls. Stories etched. Weekends. Cleveland condo, views Lake Ward. Dinner simple, pasta, wine. Talks deep. One eve. Anniversary 3 years. From that game. Rooftop sunset. Ignored you once. Never again. He laughed, wind tousling. Good. 'Cause this plays forever. Epilogue soft. Willow revisited. Field rededicated. Harlan Hayes Hartfield. Kids scamper. Rainbow goalposts. Hargrove. Retired. Grudging nod at diner. We stand sidelines. Hands laced open. Town evolved. But core unchanged. Small miracles, big loves. Human arc. Flawed. Fierce. Forward. In the end, the big game wasn't football. It was us scoring not points, but peace.